Good afternoon. My name is Fred Huff. My wife just talked about the slow decay and neglect at the east end of Byrne Lake Park that led up to the illegal occupation of the 7 abandoned shelters 2 weeks ago. I want to talk about the nightmare that we have been living in for the last 2 weeks because of these homeless people living outside our bedroom window. Once these camps moved in, I went over and politely had conversations with several of the residents. What I learned was that around March 17th, the LCPD evicted the encampments behind the fire station on Valley Drive. They told me that they then moved from the fire station to these abandoned shelters at Byrne Lake where they are now. On top of the people living there illegally, the vehicle traffic has increased tenfold as vehicles come in and out. One particular guy driving a gray Chevy Trailblazer drives around here like it's a Grand Prix rally race, creating massive dust clouds. I saw burnout tracks in the dirt yesterday near one of the tents, and I asked a resident what happened, as it would have thrown dirt right into his tent. He said that he and the Chevy guy had gotten into an argument, and then the Chevy guy spun out and filled his tent with dirt. The Chevy guy seems to be delivering stuff to other residents. One afternoon, a resident of nearby Glendale Gardens confronted the Chevy guy about his deliveries, and they got into a big verbal argument. I called the police on this one, and they sent an officer out. The Chevy guy was long gone by then, though. Several times we have witnessed people totally freak out after visiting with the Chevy guy. Remember, this is an area closed to vehicles. And while I was having a nice conversation with the resident yesterday, 2 other guys came up to us and expressed quite a bit of hostility towards me. I took Rob Wood and the mayor's with the Mayor's Homeless Task Force for a tour of the camps on Friday. And one of the residents called us over and threatened me and my home for taking photographs. Once this mess is cleared out, the Parks and Recreation Department needs to be directed to rebuild the fences at the east end of Byrne Lake and the end of Brown Road. The abandoned shelters are the magnet that brought these encampments to this area, and they also need to be removed. My wife and I should not be having to live in fear for our home and safety. If this was happening outside your bedroom window, would you be okay with it? Would any of you be willing to come and take a tour of this mess? I really think this city has more pressing needs than worrying about an offensive street name. Thank you.